Joining us today is Jonathan Lilly, a seasoned IT consultant who brings a wealth of experience in resolving technical challenges for both residential users and small to medium-sized businesses. Over the years, Jonathan has developed a deep understanding of the common issues that people encounter daily while using technology and has mastered effective solutions to mitigate these problems. With a strong passion for technology and its potential to enhance efficiency, Jonathan has a mission to serve others, helping them navigate and secure their digital lives. Well, let's welcome Jonathan Lilly, an expert who is here to share valuable insights on safeguarding seniors in the digital age. Oh, hi, Jonathan. Welcome to Maria Cares.
Hello, Maria. Thank you so much for having me. Such a pleasure.
Yeah, please greet the audience.
Hello, everyone. Like Maria said, I'm Jonathan, and I specialize in IT information security. And Maria, again, thanks so much for having me.
It's a pleasure, Jonathan. So let's start the interview question or the discussion. So when it comes to internet security, what are the common online threats that seniors should be aware of?
Hey, Maria, that's a great question. I think the number one threat that seniors should be aware of is social engineering attacks, which is emails that hackers send. And what they want to do is they want to get us to click on those links and in turn steal all of our information. So it's very vital to protect your email accounts while you're online and do not click on any suspicious links. You first want to ask yourself, am I expecting this?
Good. Yeah, the big question, am I expecting this? Okay.
Yes.
So how has the landscape of internet security evolved in recent years, especially concerning seniors?
I think the landscape has evolved tremendously. Our security researchers has implemented ways where we can better protect ourselves online, and they came up with protocols and procedures where we can use to better protect ourselves. So I definitely think the landscape has evolved over the years. Every day new technology is coming out and it's to our advantage to better protect ourselves online.
That's good, yeah. So how about recognizing scams and phishing? So Jonathan, can you explain what phishing is and how seniors can recognize phishing attempts?
Absolutely, great question. So what a phishing email is what happens is a hacker, they will craft up an email with a malicious link. So whenever you receive emails with a link attached, like I said, you always want to ask yourself first, am I expecting this? And if the answer is no, you do not want to click on any links attached to the email. So you definitely want to look out for those links that's in the email from unrecognizable senders. So definitely you want to be aware of what email you receive, because not all emails are illegitimate. So, but we definitely have to make sure that the ones we are clicking on is legitimate by researching, looking at the link, and checking the sender's email.
Yeah, so especially if you don't recognize the email address, it's just better. To me, it's just like when I see it, and then I don't recognize it, and especially it's making, right away I block the
there you go.
The sender, yeah, right yes. away I block it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are some common types of scams targeting seniors online, would you say?
Absolutely. So I would say social engineering. And the type of social engineering attack that's mostly attacking seniors is suspicious phone calls, where they will impersonate a company or individual, and in turn they want information. So the number one thing, thing to watch out for is those suspicious phone calls, because they're turning from email to also phone calls and text messages as well.
Yeah, besides our phone is an internet. It's a small computer.
Exactly, it's a small
so it's the
computer.
Same, yeah.
Yes, and nowadays we are using our phones more than the computer.
Yes.
So yes. Mm-hmm.
So let's do about what best practices online and security. What are some basic internet safety tips that seniors can follow to protect their personal information?
I would say do not overshare while you're online, and always make sure that you're using some type of antivirus protection, something that can protect your activity while you're online. There's ones that I'm very familiar with and that I love and I use for my other clients. It's called McAfee. So if you can download a version of McAfee, that will protect you while you're online, as well as protect you while you're communicating via email.
So how important is it to use strong, unique passwords, and what tools can help manage them?
Oh, that's a very great question, Maria. So it's very important to make sure that your passwords are strong. They're being changed frequently, because what happens is sometimes hackers, they will use what we call a brute force attack, where they will use dictionary words and combinations to guess the passwords. So it's very important to use a strong password. I believe I would recommend the password at least be 12 characters long, with a mixture of letters, symbols, lowercase, and also make sure that you're changing those passwords frequently. I would recommend changing them every 90 days if you can, because the more you change your passwords, the harder it is for someone to crack your password, because you're constantly changing them, and they have to again look at the dictionary for those combinations. So it makes it hard for the hacker to guess those passwords.
Okay. So just like, for example, you change the password and the computer save it for you. Is it safe? Like, what can you say about that?
Absolutely. So when you create a password, say on your computer device, there's security, especially if you have McAfee installed, if you have some type of security software installed on your computer, it kind of runs in the background. So all the activity that you're doing on your computer, it's in an encrypted form where it's protected. So that's why I say it's very important whenever you're online to make sure that you have some type of protection, so that your data won't get leaked or won't get in the wrong hands. So, and also there's a built-in technology, it's called 1Password, that you can download, and it stores all of your passwords securely. And it's a free subscription, and it's called 1Password.
So I mean, like, for example, what if one site you put a password and then you forgot the password, and then now since it's a combination, it's like combination of letters, characters, and numbers. So like, for example, you do an uppercase G, lowercase v, and then an exclamation point, and then number 2. But the thing is, will that be, I mean, like, if you ask for forget password and they ask you to put your old password, I mean, will that help you, or the old password will vanish when it's saved on the?
Great question, Maria. So whenever you're going through a process of resetting your password, and the system asks you to type in your current password, and then you type in the new password. So when you type in your current password, and the system recognizes your current password, and then you type in the new password. So what happens with that current password is it gets removed from the database. So whatever software is holding that password, it gets removed. Now it remains in the history, because if you try to change the password again and it's that same exact password, the system will recognize it. So I would say it's stored in some type of vault where it's secure. Your old password.
The 1Password.
Yes.
The 1Password.
Yes. In case you have to go back to it.
Like, for example, me, I use like a laptop, an iPad, and then a cell phone. So I mean, should I install that 1Password to each device, or it automatically saves?
That's a great question. Maria. So if you have multiple devices, and you have passwords stored on each of those devices, what you can do, you can use 1Password to kind of integrate all of those accounts with those passwords and make it into 1Password. And then you can back it up, just in case you lose one of your devices or one of your devices stop functioning. You can still use the iPassword on the other device to recover that password.
Got it.
So, yep, it integrates with all of your accounts.
Nice.
Yep.
So how about, this is everybody's concern, securing personal devices, just like I mentioned. So what steps can seniors take to secure their smartphones, tablets, and computers?
Very great question, Maria. So, the devices that we use, the software vendor sends updates monthly to our devices. And it is our job to make sure that we're installing those updates. So I will recommend that you check for updates on a monthly basis. We call it Patch Tuesday, when updates are rolled out every second Tuesday of the month. So I would say during that time, you can check your system for updates, or what you can do is most devices has an automatic feature where you can automatically enable where it automatically installs your updates at a certain time of the day when you're not using your computer. So if you're not using your computer, say late in the evenings, then you can schedule for that update to run. Updates are very important because what updates does is they fix vulnerabilities that's been found in the software. And what hackers do is they take advantage of those vulnerabilities. So if those vulnerabilities are patched, then the hackers can't do their job. So updates are very, very important periodically. And I would say at least once a month, you should be updating all of your devices.
That's good. Remember that, seniors. So how can seniors keep their software and operating systems up to date to prevent security vulnerabilities?
I would say is going back to the antivirus software. For instance, McAfee, where it runs in the background in real time. So that means that even when you're not online, McAfee is still running in the background, protecting you, protecting your sensitive data. Number one thing is having some type of, whether it's not McAfee, some type of security software on your computer where it's protecting you in real time. So definitely. And that will solve at least 90% of problems when it comes to hacking, is by having that software on your computer.
Nice to know. So how about safe online transactions? Of course, seniors didn't even want to open an online account because of this. They're so like paranoid about what's going to happen. Anyway, what precautions should seniors take when making online purchases or banking transactions?
Very good question, Maria. So whenever you're making online purchases, bank transactions, etc., you want to first check the top the top bar of that page. You want to make sure that it ends with the S. It should be HTTPS. The S stands for secure. So whenever you're visiting websites, you want to make sure that website is secure, because once you verify it's secure, then you know that your data in whatever activity that you're performing is encrypted, meaning that it's protected and it's not it can't be seen. So you want to make sure that you're using an encrypted version of whatever online banking or any activity that you're doing. And also goes back to the software, antivirus software. It also checks your online activity. So if anything suspicious, then it will alert you. So it's very, very important to have that security software, because again, it's protecting your online activity. No matter what you do, it's protecting your data and keeping everything safe.
Yeah, so it's just like when you're trying to pay. I mean, I noticed there's like a padlock. I mean, do they have to?
Yes, Maria,
the key,
it's a padlock. That means
the padlock,
that it's been yes,
yeah,
you
that's
got
one,
it.
yeah.
Yes,
because
Maria.
maybe they cannot see that S after the TTP,
Yeah.
but then the thing is they would see a padlock.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Maria made a good point, because you can look for that padlock, which is easier for searching around for an
Yeah.
S to secure.
Yeah.
You can look for that padlock, and if it's showing a lock symbol, then you know that the site is secure and your data is being protected. Now, if you don't see that, then you may not want to share any information on that particular site, whether it be your address information, banking card information, just any information you don't want to share on those unprotected online sites.
Yeah, thank you.
Great point, Maria.
Thank you. So how about let's go about this thing about, of course, everybody's into, so I mean, most of the seniors also way of entertainment is social media. So what about the safety for social media? So what are the potential risks of using social media for seniors, and how can they navigate this platform safely?
Absolutely. The number one potential threat with any social engineering site, I would say data leakage. Where there's impersonators that's pretending they can be someone that wants information, or some company that wants to sell you something. So those are the things you have to look out for on any social networking sites, is the information that you receive. Because most of the time, if you're not giving out any important information, you can stay safe online. But as long as you're not giving random, I would say, hackers your information, then I believe you can stay safe online. Just using good hygiene and just common sense. Don't share any information, don't give any information, and only use it where it's intended to be used for.
Okay, got it. So, Jonathan, how can seniors control their privacy settings on social media to limit exposure to potential threats?
Absolutely. The number one safeguard I would say implement is turning your location off. Because if you're online on a social media networking site, if the hackers don't know your location, then they can't perform what they intended to perform, because they first need to know your location to be able to begin searching for information. So good rule of thumb is you want to make sure that your location service is turned off. And you can do that by, like Maria was alluding to, there's a lock on the left side of the screen. If you click on that lock, you can disable your location. So, and also, again, don't overshare any information, because they can use that information against you.
Yeah, you know, sad to say, my Maria Care's Facebook page I lost it. It's just gone. Yeah. I don't know, somebody hacked or something, but also my personal. So together, I lost it.
Yeah,
I lost those sites.
Yes, and they're very sophisticated, so
Yeah,
they're coming up with new tools to
And
find
then
ways.
maybe my clients are saying, what happened to her? I mean, probably they think that I unfriend them, but no, I lost my Facebook account.
Yeah, that can happen, unfortunately.
Yes, sad to say.
Yes.
So yeah, how about email safety? What are some signs that an email might be a scam or contain harmful links?
Absolutely. So you first want to again ask yourself, am I expecting this email? And also you want to review or inspect the sender's IP address, or the sender's email address, because sometimes they can come up with random email addresses. For instance, it will say ipv.sv.com. Now that raised a red flag just by looking at the email. It kind of throws someone off. So I would definitely pay attention to the email of the sender. And also when it comes to those links, those suspicious links, sometimes those links will be a little off. So the links will be misspelled sometimes. It wouldn't have the correct structure for it to be a correct link. So you definitely want to be mindful. And again, if you ask yourself, am I expecting this email? And the answer is no, then you will know how to proceed. You don't want to click on any links. You don't want to share any information until you research. Sometimes you can Google the email address or the company that's sending you the email, and you can call them personally to see if this is legitimate. So definitely do your research, be aware, and check the spelling of those links, because most of those links are misspelled and they don't serve any type of purpose.
That's good. So how should seniors handle these unsolicited emails or suspicious attachments?
Absolutely. I would definitely, there's a feature in your on most email accounts where you can kind of mark it as spam. or you can mark it as junk. And
Oh
what
yeah,
that
just like I told you.
just like you
earlier.
told me earlier. And what that happens is when you mark those specific emails as spam or junk, it sends email to the email holders, whoever manages that email account, so that in the future, if those emails are coming through the server, then they will automatically be red flagged and they won't even make it to your inbox. So definitely you want to spam those emails, create junk accounts so that the email account holders can be aware.
That's good to know. So, of course, the seniors would like to know about support resources and other stuff. So, what resources are available for seniors to learn more about internet security?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I would say the number one is, I want to say, my number one would be Thunderbird, where it has a lot of online videos, how you can stay protected. It has cybersecurity training videos on different type of data breaches that you have to watch out for, different type of methods that you can learn about, and all of it is hands-on, and they have great videos. It's called Thunderbird Security. And another one I would go with is OWASP. That's O as in Oscar, S as in Sam, W as in William, A as in Apple, P as in Peter. That's another site that you can visit that has great information on how you can stay protected online. And also it talks about the latest threats that we are experiencing as a whole in the internet landscape.
That's good to know. So, I mean, of course, seniors would like to contact somebody. I mean, who can seniors contact if they believe they have been a victim of an online scam or a security breach?
Absolutely. So I would say it's OWASP, the community. They monitor for suspicious activity. You can email them at OWASP at staysafeonline.com. Any concerns or any issues that you have as far as with your data online, or you just want to have information, you can email them directly and someone will follow up with you promptly.
Okay, so what are the most common questions you receive from seniors about internet security? Maybe others would like to know.
Absolutely. So the number one question that I get is advertising spam. So meaning that a lot of times seniors will receive phone calls from impersonators pretending to be a company trying to sell them something, whether that be trying to sell them an antivirus package or some type of software that will help them. But in turn, there's just more viruses that they get hit with. So my number one question, like I said, that I get from seniors is how can I stop those phone calls? And my answer is always don't give out any personal information, because we can't stop them per se, because they've gotten to the point where they're using sophisticated channels to get a hold of us. Sometimes our information is public, and they take advantage of that. So you definitely want to make sure, and I tell them that you definitely want to make sure that you're not giving out any information. And that's very important, because if you don't give out any information, then they can't do their jobs. They use the information that we give them to attack us.
Yeah.
So if there's no information to give them, if there's no links to click on, then they can't do their job.
Got it. So, I mean, how can family members and caregivers assist seniors in staying safe online?
Absolutely. Number one is by having the antivirus software active at all times. It also goes back to don't overshare. You never want to overshare, because again, they can use that information against us. And also you want to make sure that your software is up to date. Like I said earlier, you want to make sure that you're updating your software on a monthly basis, because if there's no vulnerabilities to exploit, then again, the criminals can't do their job. So we definitely want to be aware, especially when we're online, whether it be we're communicating with family, friends, whether we're researching. We always want to try to stay safe online and use the best practices. And that is, be aware of who we're communicating with. Don't overshare any information. Don't give out any links. And also make sure that your software is up to date and that you're using some type of security software at all times.
That's good to know. Thank you for Jonathan. So a huge thank you to Jonathan Lilly for joining us today and sharing his invaluable expertise. Jonathan's insights into cybersecurity have certainly equipped us with the tools we need to protect ourselves and our loved ones online. Yeah, for our viewers, reminder to stay vigilant and informed as you navigate the digital world. If you miss any part of this discussion or wish to revisit the tips shared today, be sure to check out the full episode on my YouTube channel, Maria Care Senior Info Guide. I'm going to put the information, the security information he has given us, like the 1Password, the, what's this? The Thunderbird, and then the McAfee.
Yep. And OS.
OS, yeah. I'm going to put the link so that you could easily access those information for your guidance. Okay, Jonathan, the owner of Techno PC Fix. Yeah, we would like to thank you to this gentleman who had helped us today. Jonathan, please say your last, your ending last words for them.
Yeah. I'm so excited and pleased to be on the show. Thank you again, Maria,
it's a pleasure, Jonathan. It's very informational.
Before I go, I want to leave you with this. Every 39 seconds, a computer connected to the internet is hacked. This means that we are facing cyber threats at a near constant rate. So by using these best practices, we can eliminate most of these threats. Again, it was a pleasure, and please stay safe online.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it.